In a quiet village in China, a mischievous little boy finds adventure and mischief around every corner. Between secret hideouts, stolen storybooks, and playful tricks, his days are filled with laughter, challenges, and unexpected lessons. But when a new teacher arrives, everything begins to change. Hello everyone, welcome to Screenville. Today we take you through the touching story of The Home in the Tree, a tale of growing up with hope, love, and little adventures. At the beginning of the movie, we met a young boy named Wang who lived in a rural village in China. His family consisted of his father and mother. His mother was a housewife, and his father was a carpenter. Wang was a very naughty and mischievous boy, but he was not good at studying at all. Because of his poor results and mischievous behavior, he regularly received various punishments from the teachers. One morning, when the students were sitting outside the classroom, Wang was stealing storybooks from the school library. He was dragging the books with a hook attached to a stick. At that moment, the school principal, Mr. Ming, caught him. Mr. Ming was Wang's biggest hater and never supported his creativity. He took Wang to the office and took the storybooks back. Actually, these books belonged to Wang. A few days ago, Mr. Ming had told everyone to submit all the storybooks they had to the school library. The books would be returned after a month because the educational department was going to inspect their school library in a few days, and their library didn't have enough books. Hearing this, Wang said he would give all the storybooks he had to the library. So he brought the storybooks he had hidden in his mother's sewing machine and submitted them to the school. But even after a few months, they were not returned. That's why he often tried to steal his books back. Mr. Ming said that if he passed the next exam, the books would be returned. After that, their Chinese teacher, Miss Zhao, who was 7 months pregnant, came to class and was teaching sentence formation. She asked, "Who can form a sentence?" Wang stood up and made a sentence about Miss Zhao's big belly. Hearing this, the students laughed a lot. Miss Zhao got angry and sent him out of the class. Similarly, in the next class, Mr. Ming made him stand at the back because he couldn't solve a very simple math problem. The teacher said, "Look at your classmate Zia. She tops every subject and you cannot even pass one. From today, you will follow her." So at the end of the class, Wang started following Zia. This annoyed Zia. Wang said, "The teacher told me to follow you, so I won't leave you." Zia complained to Mr. Ming, who punished Wang again. Receiving punishment from the teachers was Wang's daily routine. After school, Wang went to a field where there was a huge tree. Every day after school, Wang came to this tree. To him, this tree was like another home. He had kept all his play equipment there. He spent several hours here every day. This was his favorite place. In the next class, Miss Zhao had given homework, but Wang hadn't done it, so he hid in another classroom. Miss Zhao found him and said that he would not be allowed to go home without completing the homework. So he stayed at school until evening, memorizing his lessons. When he knocked on Miss Zhao's room, he saw a beautiful woman instead. Her name was Miss Fen. Miss Fen was Miss Zhao's younger sister. Because of her pregnancy, Miss Zhao would be going to the city for a few months, and during that time, Miss Fen would be their Chinese teacher. Miss Fen asked him what he was doing there because school had ended long ago. Wang said that Miss Zhao had told him he couldn't go home without memorizing his lessons. Just then, Miss Zhao returned from the market. Miss Fen said that the boy shouldn't have been kept like this and that it seemed he hadn't eaten anything since noon. Then Miss Zhao tested Wang on his lesson, but he still hadn't memorized it properly, so she told him to memorize it again. Miss Fen said that teachers shouldn't be so strict with children. Miss Zhao replied that Wang was very mischievous and a bad student and didn't deserve any kindness. Outside the room, Miss Fen saw Wang trying to drink water, but no water was coming out because the tap was broken. Seeing this, she gave him fruit juice to drink. Wang began to like her because she was the first teacher who treated him kindly. Miss Fen told him to go home, eat lunch, and return after completing his homework. Hearing this, Wang went to a river beside the school to take a bath. At that moment, Principal Ming arrived, found Wang's clothes on the riverbank, and took them back to the school. Helpless, Wang covered himself with grass and went home. The next day, his uniform was returned to him. Wang had brought a written apology to the teacher. He wrote that he was sorry for swimming alone in the dirty river and for leaving school without the teacher's permission, and that he would never do such a thing again. The teacher forgave him, but punished him by making him sit on a broken bench at the back of the class. After school, Zia and her friends came to Wang's tree to play. Zia sat on Wang's swing. Her friends said, "Wang has forbidden us from coming here. "This place belongs to Wang." Hearing this, Zia said, "Wang is not the owner of this place. We will come here whenever we want." Then Wang arrived and said, "Everyone leave right now. Whoever doesn't leave, I'll marry them." Hearing this, everyone ran away. Later, when Wang was playing with his friends, a street vendor arrived. The vendor told them that he had many marbles in his bag. Whoever could pick a blue marble from the bag with their eyes closed would win, and the winner would receive a storybook as a prize. But to play the game, they had to pay 2 yuan. Wang's friend said he had 2 yuan and wanted to play. Hearing this, Wang came up with a plan. He took 8 blue marbles from his toy box and secretly put them into the vendor's bag. When he pulled his hand out, the vendor told them that there were no blue marbles in the bag. Where did Wang get them? Wang said, "Then you lied to us," meaning the vendor was cheating the children. Wang then started a fight with the vendor. Miss Fen came and stopped them, taking Wang to her house. After she left, Wang's father began scolding him and burned the storybooks Wang had taken from the vendor. The next day, Miss Zhao left for the city. Mr. Ming came to class and said that for the next few months, Miss Fen would be their Chinese teacher. Miss Fen saw Wang sitting alone at the very back. When she asked why, he said Miss Zhao had punished him. She asked him to move a bit forward and sit. Miss Fen noticed that although the children wanted to read storybooks, the teachers did not allow it. She said reading storybooks was not a bad thing. After finishing school lessons, they could read storybooks to improve grammar and writing skills. She then brought storybooks from the library. Miss Fen said that one of the students should take responsibility for these books like a librarian, whose job would be to distribute the books to students and collect them on time to return to the library. Wang requested to take on this responsibility, so she made him the librarian. From now on, Wang would manage the exchange of storybooks for all the children. He took this responsibility very seriously. Everyone came to him eagerly for the storybooks. He began to feel like a school celebrity. He proudly told his father about this matter. His father said, "Focus on your studies. There's no use in doing all this." In the next scene, Wang came to Miss Fen to take storybooks. But the bed leg in her room had broken, so Wang brought wood from his home and fixed it. Then Wang showed Miss Fen around the village and took her bird catching, but instead of catching birds, they found eggs. Next, he took her to his tree and let her sit on the swing he had made. He climbed the tree and showed her his toys. In the following scene, a teacher's meeting is shown, where it is decided that for the upcoming exam, all students would stop reading storybooks and focus on Chinese and math because teachers from another school would come to conduct the exam. After the meeting, when Miss Fen entered the classroom, she saw all the children asleep because they had napped after lunch break. Wang rolled off his small table and fell. Seeing this, Miss Fen took him to her room and said he could sleep there. Wang said he would go to the washroom. Miss Fen told him he could use her shoes. Wang went to the washroom wearing her red shoes and, after returning, fell asleep again. When Mr. Ming came to teach, he saw Wang was not in class. The students said he was sleeping in Miss Fen's room. Mr. Ming came, pulled Wang by the ear, and brought him back to class. The next day, Wang went to Miss Fen to take storybooks, but she refused to give him any. Hearing this, Wang felt very disappointed. Miss Fen said, "If you can score 70% in the next exam, I will let all of you read storybooks again." Wang became happy and started studying seriously. He became so focused on his studies that the tree where he used to spend his leisure time became his study spot. He stayed up late at night studying and even sat in a corner during school playtime to read. The day of the exam arrived. That morning, nervous, he sat on the tree and wrote notes all over his body. Miss Fen came and told him to wash off the notes and write only what he knew without cheating. "This will help you in the future," she said. The exam then began, and Wang wrote quietly. Miss Fen came to observe the class, and Wang lifted his sleeves and shirts to show her that he had not cheated. In the next scene, the results ceremony is shown. Mr. Ming gave such a long speech that everyone began to doze off. After that, prizes were distributed. The top 5 students of the school received certificates. Wang did not receive a certificate because he was not in the top 5, but he had scored 75%. The student who used to fail all the time had now achieved such good results through his own effort. For this, Miss Fen made a certificate on a white sheet of paper using her lipstick and presented it to him in front of the class. She also took his picture. Wang became extremely happy and started showing off his certificate in front of everyone. When he went home and showed his parents, his mother was very happy. But his father said, "This is not an original certificate. Your teacher made this herself. You will have to earn an original certificate in the next exam." The next morning, he was sitting on a branch of the tree when his friends brought candies for him. Wang lowered the bag and said, "Put the candies inside the bag." His friends said, "Our exams are over, so you bring storybooks from Miss Fen for us." Wang agreed. They helped him down from the tree like a king. They all followed him like subjects. He said, "You all wait here. I will go get the books." Just then, Mr. Ming said, "Miss Fen has gone to meet her friend." Saying this, he shooed them away. Later, during the break, when Wang's classmates were napping, he went to Miss Fen's room to lie down. Suddenly, he saw her camera and started playing with it. When Miss Fen returned, he quickly moved to another part of the room to put the camera away. Miss Fen and her boyfriend entered the room, and Wang, having no other option, hid under the bed. Seeing them together made him very jealous. After the break, Wang returned to her room again. There he saw her boyfriend. Wang said he had come to take the library key. Her boyfriend took him to the library, and Wang collected the storybooks he needed. He noticed that Miss Fen's boyfriend was wearing those red shoes. He had worn these shoes to go to the restroom that one day. Seeing this, Wang became even more jealous. After school, Miss Fen and her boyfriend were playing with the students. Wang was repeatedly attacking her boyfriend, which made Miss Fen remove him from the game. The next day, Wang came to return the storybooks. At that time, Miss Fen's boyfriend was wearing a white shirt and a red tie, and his hair was perfectly styled with hairspray. Miss Fen said that boys look very handsome in a white shirt and red tie. Hearing this, the next morning, Wang bathed thoroughly in a bucket of drinking water, then wore a white shirt, a red tie, and used the wood glue his father had used to style his hair. Looking at himself in the mirror, he developed a crush on himself. When he arrived at school, his friends made fun of him. They said, "Why is your hair like that?" He replied, "I used hairspray on my hair. You wouldn't understand what that is." Meanwhile, since Miss Fen's boyfriend arrived, she doesn't properly talk to Wang. So, he gets upset, and when he is about to leave, Miss Fen calls him and says, "We will go out with you." Miss Fen came to Wang's tree with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend got on Wang's swing. Seeing this, Wang became very angry. A little later, Miss Fen and her boyfriend went to look for bird eggs. Wang cut the swing rope so that if anyone tried to sit on it, it would break. They found a few bird eggs and brought them to Wang, who started cooking them. Meanwhile, Fen got on the swing, and the rope broke, causing her to fall to the ground. Many days later, it is shown that Wang's father cut down the tree because Wang kept sitting on it all the time. Wang cried a lot, but his father cut it down. Later, he is seen sitting at the first bench in class. Now, he no longer misbehaves and has become the first boy in the class. After that, Mr. Ming called him and said, "You have received a letter." The letter was from Miss Fen. It said that the day she fell from the swing, she had broken her hand, but now she was completely fine and had already completed her graduation from university. She included a few photos in the envelope. She wrote that she would visit them very soon and that she would never forget the childish days she spent with Wang. She felt that during those days, she had returned to her own childhood. The envelope included her address so Wang could write to her regularly if he wanted. She hoped he would study well and never misbehave again. In the final scene, Wang is seen taking his toy box, bearing it next to the tree, and walking toward the school. This is where the movie ends. Thank you for joining us on this heartwarming journey through the home in the tree. If you enjoyed this story and want more emotional, exciting, and unforgettable movie tales, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned to Screenville. We've got plenty more stories waiting to be explored.